This is part 3 of this tutorial about how to draw a floor plan in ArchiCAD, and we are going to continue from where we had stopped in our previous tutorial, and I'm going to begin by showing you how to draw a column in a floor plan using ArchiCAD. Under design, on this part, drop down to column tool, double click on it, and the column default settings will pop up. Click on column and type 300 millimeters by 500 millimeters. Under positioning settings, click on not linked and type the height of the column as 3300 millimeters. Under positioning settings, type 0, select that and select that. Under this, choose ground floor as the current, and this choose zone boundary. Select top and select bottom. Under segment setting, these are the settings that you're going to choose. Under model settings, select that and that. These are the settings for classification and properties. Under floor plan and section settings, these are the settings we are going to choose. And for the structural analytical parameters, these are the settings for classification and properties. Then click OK. Click on this point to insert your column. Select your column and then rotate your column. Drag a copy of your column and place it there. Now let's insert columns in this part of the entry porch. Under design, click on column, then select column, and you're going to type 60 millimeters by 200 millimeters. Under segment settings, click on model settings and select this. And click on this part and select this. And then click OK. Click in this part of the entry porch to insert your column. Rotate that column and then drag it and position it there. Move and drag it and position it here. Let's drag a copy of this column. Move by dragging it this. Drag a copy of that column and drag a copy of that column again. Let's drag another copy. Now in this other step, I'm going to show you how to draw a slab in ArchiCAD. Under Design, click on Slab tool, and the slab default settings will pop up. These are the settings for the geometry and positioning. Select ground floor, and on this one choose this. Under floor plan and section settings, we are going to enter those settings. These are the settings for model. Let's choose this. Before we begin drawing our slab, let's make some changes of our slab. Under Design, drop down to Slab tool, double click on it, and then we're going to change the thickness and height of our column. Type 300 millimeters. That's the thickness. And for the height, type 3300 millimeters. Click on that and select this option. For these, choose ground floor, which is the current, and these are the settings for floor plan and section. These are the settings for model, override services, and you're going to choose concrete. We're going to choose stucco white rough. And these are the settings for structural analytical parameters. And these are the settings for classification and properties. And then click OK. At the top, click on this. And then let's begin drawing our slab. Click on that point. Click on that point and that other point, and click on this point, this other point, click on this, and then drop down to this. Now let's view our progress in 3D, and this is how our slab will look like. Click on ground floor and let's draw a slab roof, double click on Slab tool, under Geometry, under Design, drop down to Slab tool, under Geometry and Positioning, change the height to 400 and 4200 millimeters. For the model settings, select that and click OK. Click on this point to begin drawing our slab. Click on that point. Click on this other point. On this other point. Click on this. Click on this point and then click here. Now let's view our progress in 3D. And that's how you draw a slab using ArchiCAD. In this next step, I'm going to show you how to draw timber cladding in ArchiCAD. And you're going to draw timber cladding on these two parts of our floor plan. Let me show you in 3D this part, and on this other part, that's where we are going to place our timber cladding. Click on ground floor. Under design, double click on wall tool and the wall default settings will pop up. Under geometry and positioning settings, select that and click on not linked, and then change the height to 150 millimeters, and then the thickness type 75 millimeters. Click on that. Then select ground floor. For the floor plan and section settings, these are the settings. Under model settings, for the override services, we are going to choose this and that, and click on that. For the structural and analytical parameters, these are the settings. For the classification and properties settings, enter these settings and click OK. Now let's begin drawing our timber cladding. Click on this point of the wall, drag your mouse and click on this point. Type 2300 millimeters. Let's mirror a copy of that timber cladding. Click on move and select mirror a copy. Let's rotate that copy and position it here. Let's view our progress in 3D. And these are our timber claddings that we have drawn. And now we are going to make copies of the timber cladding to cover the whole wall. Let's open this elevation. And you're going to drag a copy of this timber cladding. Select drag a copy. Click on this point and click on that point. Now let's move it by 8 millimeters. Let's view our change in 3D. And this is the copy we have created. Now let's open this elevation. Click on that cladding, right click, and then select drag a copy and position it here. Let's see our change in 3D. Let's open this elevation and then drag multiple copies of this cladding to cover the whole wall. Click on drag multiple copies. Click on that point and position this copy there. And let's drag other copies and repeat the same process. Click on this. Click on this point. Let's drag copies of those selected claddings. Click on that point. Click on that point. Drag a copy and click on this point. Do the same and click on this other point. Click on this point. Drag a copy and place copy of those claddings and place them there, and place other copies here. Let's delete these two extra claddings and view our progress in 3D. And this is how our wall will appear. Now let's do the same for this other part of the wall. Click on this elevation, right click and click on open with current view. And now we are going to drag copies of this cladding. Drag, select cladding and drag a copy of that cladding and position it on this point. Now let's drag other copies and repeat the same process. Select those claddings and drag a copy and place it here. Another copy, place it here. Let's place another copy of the claddings here. Place other copies here. Do the same for this. Place other copies here. Repeat the same process for the rest of the wall. Let's view our progress in 3D. And this is how our wall will look like. In this next step, I'm going to show you how to insert dimensions in a floor plan using ArchiCAD, and I'm going to show you how to do that in two methods. One will be manual and the other one will be automatic dimensioning. Now let's begin with the manual way of inserting dimensions. Under Document, click on Dimension Tools, double click on it, and the dimension default settings will pop up. Let's enter settings for the dimension type. Click on that. Select this type of marker. Click on this type. Select this option. For the marker pen, you're going to choose that. And for the dimension line pen, you're going to select that. Let's enter settings for the text style. We are going to choose Arial, and we're going to select Western. For this pen, we are going to choose that color. This is the font size. You can make it bold, italic, you can underline it, or strike through it. Click on this option. For the marker and witness line option, these are the settings. These are the settings for the pointer. Select this line. For the line pen, select that. Click on that. For the arrow head, select that. Type that. And for this, click on this. For the dimension detail setting, these are the settings. Then click OK. Now let's enter dimensions. Click on dimension, and then click on this part of the wall. Click once. Click on this wall. Click on this other wall. Click on this wall. Click this wall, and click on this, and then click on a part on this side. Click once, and your dimensions will be placed. That's the first method of inserting dimensions in a floor plan in ArchiCAD. Let me show you the other method, which enters dimensions automatically. So under design, click on Wall tool, click on Edit, and select all walls. Confirm that all your walls have been selected. On the top, click on Document and drop down to Annotation. Then select Automatic Dimensioning and click on Exterior Dimensioning, and the automatic dimensioning will pop up. Click on this box, check this one, check this other box, and check this other box. This is how our dimensions will look like. Click on Opening End Points. Select that. Select that. Click on this part. And this is the distance between dimension lines. And then check this box. Place dimensions on 4 sides and click OK. Click on this part of the wall of the workspace. Drag your mouse and click on this part, and your dimensions will be inserted in all 4 sides. Now let's select all the dimensions and move them to that point, and do the same for the other dimensions. And that's how you insert dimensions in a floor plan using ArchiCAD.